terms of taking profit, and when we're monitoring an open order, you are given the alternative of monitoring your profit on a particular trade either as a monetary value or as pips. Now at this stage we would recommend that you keep a track of your profit and loss on your open orders in pips. The main reason for that is because when you start looking at the order value in pounds, it can affect your trading style, as pressure might well build when you see the pounds ticking up in profit or even slipping away in terms of loss. But by that time you will have an order strategy in place, and that strategy is usually based around a particular level of pips that you want to make or you're prepared to lose. In the next section of the video we'll show you how to select the profit level as pips. So we'll see in the bottom right hand side of the screen here we have the individual order highlighted in blue, and then the cumulative for the account. So if you had more than one order open, the grey line would show you the cumulative balance. So you can see at the moment that our profit is currently shown as -£2.10, and it shows that both for the gross and also for the individual trade. Now to change that, within the terminal area somewhere, if you right click, select profit, and then you can see it's currently shown as term currency. If you select that as points, you'll now see that the individual trade shows your profit as points or pips. Right, we'll now look at how we can manually close a trade which we have open. So the following video will show you how to do that. Firstly, we come to a point where we may have reached a target or approaching a target that we have set for our profit or loss, and we quite simply double click on the order and it opens up our order dialog box again. So this is very similar to the opening order dialog box that we saw earlier. So we can see from this screen, we can see the cumulative profit in the background. It's going against us, so we decide to close this trade for a loss. Simply click on the close button and it gives you our close details, the order number and the price at which you closed it. You can see that now we're left with just a cumulative summary of the account. We have no open trades left. Now what we can look at now is a summary of the account and the trade. So that gives us the top line figures there shown in grey. But if we click on the account history tab, it will show us the detail. The last entry there is the one we just closed for a £28.20 loss, and you can scroll up and down and have a look at other particular orders. Now we have a period selected at the moment which is just for the trades performed on this account in July, and you can, if you want, change that time period. Firstly, let's expand the terminal area of the box so we can see them all at once. We right click in that area and we'll select a different time period to monitor now. And as you can see, this is the last 3 months history. Gives you all the detail that you probably need for that period of time that you're monitoring. Again, right clicking in the terminal area, we now select Save as Detailed Report, and we will save this particular report and we'll call it Demo 2. Make sure that you're saving it in the correct location for you. Click Save and it generates your HTML format report. Now you can export this into Excel later if you want. So this is a report that we saw earlier in Module 2, containing all the details of the transactions for the period in question. It gives you a list of any open trades, any working orders, and a graphical display of the trade performance for that particular time frame, along with more details such as the gross profit and loss, net profits, and individual details of your trading performance. So as we've seen from the last section, MT4 trading platform does provide excellent information and recording of all the trades. But for ourselves, additionally, we also maintain a trading log, and we can put additional information into there, record it and forecast, and it allows us to target ourselves and maintain our performance against that target wherever we can. So the next screenshot provides an example of the trading records that we at Raven Glen use, and you can purchase this from www.ravenglen.com. And as you'll see from this brief screenshot, there is additional information that you can put in to forecast and monitor your own performance. Now, when we looked at the opening and closing of orders before, we saw how to manually close an order. Now, there are other options. So rather than watching the trading screen for hours or minutes on end and looking for the appropriate point to exit your trade, you can actually set up the automatic levels to take your profit once it reaches a point that you're happy with. And that level can be determined by looking at the chart and finding out and establishing the likely points of resistance and support using Bollinger Bands, which we mentioned earlier, and other tools which we'll discuss later on in the course. Now, the take profit orders can be set at the initial time of opening the trade or at any time after that, so long as the trade remains open. It's also possible to change the level of the take profit order at any time while the trade is open, or you can remove the take profit level altogether. So firstly, let's have a look at how we can set the take profit when we initially place our trade. Right, we'll see now just how easy it is to set a take profit order when you first open the trade. Now, there is a lot of information that you need to take on board when opening an order, and we'll cover those later on in the program. But for the time being, let's just take one simple indicator, and that's this Bollinger Band, and the center line seems to be holding as a point of resistance. We expect the market to bounce down away from there. So let's do a sell order, assuming that the market's going to drop. So right click, trading, new order, and again, just a reminder, one or two things you need to check on. Make sure that you're trading the right currency pair, make sure that the volume is set to the correct volume that you're preparing to trade, and we will be doing an instant execution order. Right, so we're going to set our take profit level using this box over here. So if we left click on the up or down arrow, it will put a value in for us. Now, the current market value is 1.56913, and that was the value that it inserted for us. Now we want to, let's say, take a 10 pip profit on this trade, so we'll change it from 1.56913 to 1.56813, and that will give us a 10 pip profit. Now obviously the market has changed slightly, the current value has changed, but let's stick with it for the time being, and we simply hit the sell button, and that tells us that we've created a new order for a value of £3 per pip on the cable, and that was our entry price, 1.56909. We have no stop loss on, but we do have a take profit set, and the order was successful. So when we click OK, we can now see that we've got an indicator on the chart of where we opened our trade, where we did our sell trade, and we also have a red line, dotted line shown, which indicates the level that our take profit is set at. So when the market, if the market does come down and hit that level, then our trade will automatically be closed out by the system for a profit. And the same information is contained in our terminal box down below, the details of our trade, the market's entry price, and the level that the take profit is currently set at. It also gives an indication here of the current market price. So that's how we set the take profit when we place a trade. Let's now have a look at how we change the take profit level on an open order. So this is the same order that we placed earlier, on which which we set our take profit. Now the time frame has moved on and the trade has moved against us, so we may consider moving our take profit level. So to do that, firstly we need to open up our order. So let's double click on the order number to open it. And what we need to do now is to manually adjust the take profit level. Now to do that, we now have to change from an instant execution type order to a modify order. Now some of the areas are now greyed out and we're only allowed to change those boxes which are highlighted and which are not greyed out. So our current take profit level is set at 1.56813. Let's reduce our target now for our profits and take it down so that instead of being approximately a 10-point profit target, we just want to make a little tiny profit on the trade. So as our opening price, which it tells you up here, was 1.56909, let's take just say a 2-point profit target, so we'll change it to 1.56889. So we simply change the figures in the box and you see that modify button is now highlighted. We simply left click on that, it changes our order, and lo and behold there's our original trade, but the take profit line is now much closer, in fact just 2 pips away from our market entry price. And again that's reflected by the information